You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. So we're next going to be talking on the telephone all about the Swale Business Awards. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us. I was hoping you could introduce yourself to our listeners and let us know a little bit about your role within that.
Right, my name's Liz Jordan. I'm a partner in UHY Hacker Young. We're chartered accountants based in Roman Square in Sittingbourne. I've been involved with the Business Awards since their inception back in 2007. I was initially a director of the Chamber of Commerce that started the Business Awards. And then when the local chamber joined in with the Kent Chamber, myself and a chap called Paul Price, who was the marketing manager over at Kent Science Park, decided that Swale deserved some business awards and that we would carry them on ourselves, and that's where it's grown from.
So it's something that's grown over some years then?
Yes, we're now in our 9th year. So, and each year we think that it's got bigger and better.
So how does somebody get entered into it, or does a business have to apply themselves?
What happens is that Swale Borough Council, who are one of our supporters, send out the initial registration form with everybody has a business rates notice in the Borough of Swale, because the eligibility is that you have a business that pays business rates within Swale. So that goes out usually end of February, beginning of March, and has a registration form, and we ask people to register. Once they've registered, they receive an entry form.
And what is the process of picking people? Because I know you have runners-up and then finalists. So how does all that process work?
What happens is that the entry form is a 2-page form, which we hope is relatively easy to complete, but gives us a good sort of background information about the business concerned. We ask people to submit that and up to 3 supporting pieces of information. Sometimes people send copies of their brochures or copies of things that have been on their website, just to give a little bit of background information. Those we collect together, and then the judges, in the past the deadline's been 31st of July, and just after that date the judges meet and sift through the entry forms and select the finalists. In the past we've had 10 finalists, but as the Business Awards have grown, we've gone up to 15. And this year we had 2 charities as well, so we had 17 in total. And then what happens is those this year it was 17 finalists. The judges go and meet the finalists, and they spend about an hour with each of them, find out more about the businesses, and then as a result of those visits, they choose the prize winners.
Is it a different panel of judges each year?
It does change from year to year. I was a judge for a long time, and I became the chair of the awards this year because Paul Price moved away. This year the judges are Gavin Coleman of Handelsbanken, and Handelsbanken were our principal sponsors. Krishan Patel of Thompson Snell and Passmore, who are solicitors who cover this area, and then Brian Carey, who is our tax partner here at UHY Hacker Young.
So is that how you're sort of supported or funded, through sponsors?
Yes, we are, yes. We have some sponsors who pay a financial contribution and others who make contributions in kind.
So who were the finalists this year?
This year the finalists were Angels Locks Limited,
Right.
Bailey's Coffee Shop and Sandwich Bar, Bird and Pest Solutions Limited, Bombus Limited, Country Bites of Faversham, Farmwood Mechanical and Electrical Services Limited, Dove's Folly Hotel Limited, Julie Gamble Advanced Skin and Beauty Clinic, Reardon Properties Limited, Cleaning Heritage, South East Quote Works, Pillet Limited, Wilkinson PLC, and William Whitney Independent Funeral Directors Limited. And then also our 2 charities as well, Community Centres and the Harmony Therapy Trust.
And what do the finalists actually get? Is it like a award ceremony with sort of an award or plaque? How does all that work?
Yes, what we do is we have a gala evening at the barn. This year it was at the Barnyard at Upchurch, and we had just under 200 people attending. So we try and make it like a mini Oscars ceremony. And during the evening, each of the finalists are presented with a certificate which they can display in their business premises. And the Mayor of Swale presented those. And then at the conclusion of the evening is the presentation of the prizes. We have some plaques that with, for example, Swale Business of the Year on it and Small Business of the Year, just so that, again, it's something that people can display in their business premises. And we have lots and lots of pictures taken. I think we've seen on the social media the pictures on the places like Facebook and on our Twitter page, and also the KM, who are one of our sponsors, did a supplement in the paper the following week with pictures of all the prize winners.
So what kind of makes a good business? I suppose if there's a business listening out there that hope to do well next year, what sort of things can they do, or what sort of things are you looking for?
I think it's an overall package. We have a sort of scoring system when we look at different aspects of the business. It's past success, although sometimes things haven't been as well, but because perhaps somebody's developing a new product or looking to start a new venture, we take that into account. The financial side, how active they've been on the marketing and how successful that's been. We look at the corporate social responsibility and their contribution to the community. What we always find is that the businesses that are successful, they run very much as a team. We often hear when we go and see the business operators, they always make the point that it's not just them, it's their team, and you get that feeling when you go and visit them that everyone there is committed to the business and they're all wanting the business to succeed.
So who actually was the winner this year?
This year the overall winner was Bird and Pest Solutions Limited, who, as they say, do pest control, or have got a very, very good list of customers and very committed to their business. The runner-up was Farmwood Mechanical and Electrical Limited. Bombus Limited was Small Business of the Year, and they're a website-based company who do gifts. A very, very interesting website. The Judges' Special Award was given to the Cleaning Fairy. The award for customer service and commitment was given to William Whitney Independent Funeral Directors. And the contribution to the Community Award was given to the Heritage, who are Sheppey's first micro pub.
Was there anything else you wanted to let our listeners know about?
Well, I'd say next year is our 10th year, so we're hoping for some additional events. What we did last year, this year, isn't it? We've had a launch event in April, and then we had a mid-term event in June where we give people the opportunity who have entered the businesses to come along and do some networking, speak to the judges, get some tips on what they can do when they're completing their entry forms. And the people that have entered and been successful say that they find that very useful, and each year we find people that say, well, they've met other businesses that can be of use to them in their business through having been involved in this process.
So it can also help a business or even a new business to learn and improve by other businesses that have done well in previous years.
Yes, that's very much the case, and I think one thing we want to do next year is to invite the people we've got the people who've won in the last 10 years, to get them to contribute in some way so that new businesses and growing businesses can actually communicate with them and meet up and find things that are useful to them in what they're doing.
Do you have a website where people can find out more?
Yes, we do, yes. It's swalebusinessawards.co.uk.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to let our listeners know all about this year's Swale Business Awards.
That's no problem at all.